The WNBA All-Star starters have been announced, y'all. They've been announced. Y'all want to guess who not starting? Hey, listen, some people don't belong in certain conversations.
The WNBA All-Star starters were just announced, a moment of fanfare revealing the league's top stars. But hidden beneath the headlines celebrating those who did make it lies a bombshell omission that has shattered a carefully constructed narrative and exposed a brutal truth about fame versus game. One of the most talked about, most hyped players in the entire league wasn't just left out of the starting lineup. She didn't even make the list of reserves. This isn't just a minor disappointment. It's a stunning reality check for Angel Reese, a player many were told was already one of the faces of the WNBA. So, what really happened when the votes were counted, and why did the massive hype machine surrounding the Bayou Barbie finally crash back to earth?
And the front court players, Boston, Nafisi Collier, Nika, Satu Sabali, Brianna Stewart, and Asia Wilson. All right. And down here, Boston, Jonquel Jones, Alyssa Thomas. No Angel Reese, folks.
For months, Angel Reese was everywhere. From magazine covers declaring her the future of the sport to a constant presence trending across social media platforms, the narrative was clear. She was already royalty, poised to dominate. That's why her name being absent from the WNBA All-Star list wasn't just surprising. It felt unthinkable to many. Not a starter, which maybe wasn't expected by everyone, but not even sneaking onto the reserve list? For someone propped up as a co-face of the league alongside the likes of Caitlin Clark, it was a stark, undeniable snub. The first hard numbers to hit were the fan votes. While she racked up a little over 500,000, which sounds like a lot, it paled in comparison to the nearly 1.3 million votes pulled by Caitlin Clark. This gap was the first major crack in the armor of the hype, showing that online visibility doesn't always translate to real-world support.
And Angel Reese being the face of the WNBA, you would think Angel Reese is leading the league in votes. Not only is the self-proclaimed Barbie not in the lead, Angel Reese isn't even close to making the top 10.
The media spent the better part of a year building Angel Reese into a phenomenon. Forbes, major sports networks, countless articles, they all echoed the same idea. She was redefining the game, the next big thing, already standing shoulder to shoulder with the league's elite. This wasn't subtle. It was a full-court press to crown her as a genuine superstar before she'd even played a full pro season. But when the fans were given their say, that narrative didn't hold up. How does a player with wall-to-wall coverage, constant viral moments, and endless highlight reels end up nowhere near the top of the voting charts? The truth is, the carefully curated image and the actual sentiment of the voting public were miles apart. The league and certain media outlets leaned heavily into the story of Angel Reese as a face of the WNBA. But when it came time for fans to actually cast their ballots, many clearly chose others.
Let's keep it real. Did y'all think Angel Reese was going to be starting? Wait. Don't get mad at me. Why you bringing up Angel? Hey. You don't tell me nothing, because I'm going to tell you something. Listen, man. Them Instagram followers and all that, it don't translate to the court. Y'all not voting, bro. It's as simple as that. These starters are about, you got like fan votes come into play here. Y'all wasn't voting for her like that, bro. Stop it. Just stop.
And we saw from the popularity voting, remember, it wasn't just Caitlin Clark, it was me too. Angel was 13th in the All-Star voting. Well, everything I've been told, she should have been at least second.
Beyond the fan vote disparity, the cold, hard truth is reflected in the numbers on the stat sheet. While her rebounding looks decent at first glance, hovering around 11.9 boards, her scoring average is a modest 11.3 points per game. But the truly eye-popping statistic, and not in a good way, is her shooting percentage, a frankly low 38.9% from the field. For a player expected to be an interior force, that number is glaring. These stats represent a noticeable dip from her performance last season, both in scoring and rebounding efficiency. Stacked against the sky-high expectations tied to her name and brand, these aren't the numbers of a generational talent or an obvious all-star. They point to inconsistency and a lack of the kind of dominant on-court impact that actually drives all-star votes. The production simply hasn't matched the promotion.
11.3 points and 11.9 boards and a 38.5% shooter at 6'3". So it's been very up and down. All of her numbers, she's over 2 points a game behind last year, and basically a little over a rebound a game down, and that's supposed to be her strong suit. Not only was she not second, she was basically 3 times the amount of votes behind Caitlin Clark.
Here's where the picture gets even clearer and arguably more brutal. Fan votes only account for 50% of the all-star selection process. The other half comes from the people who watch games for a living, the media, and the players themselves. These are the insiders, the ones who know exactly what peak performance and real impact look like. And their message was even louder than the fans. Angel Reese wasn't just overlooked by a portion of the media and players. She was completely left off every major media ballot and the vast majority of player votes. This wasn't an oversight. It was a collective statement from those within the game. Contrast this with Caitlin Clark, who wasn't just selected by the media, but was the unanimous media choice across all official ballots. That stark difference isn't about popularity contests. It's about earned respect based on consistent on-court brilliance. The insiders spoke, and they made it clear that hype alone doesn't cut it.
Same Angel Reese, who has been begging, and I mean begging, people on social media to vote for her? Angel Reese, number 13 on the list.
A potential reserve, who would it be? Gabby Williams and Brittany Sykes. So Angel Reese couldn't even squeeze into a reserve spot. And now Megan Hall of USA Today, she left Angel Reese off her all-star ballot.
I know a lot of people are going to be mad. I seen a bunch of people on Twitter crashing out. I saw you on Twitter crashing out, talking about the fan voting is rigged and all of this stuff, man. It's just, come on, man. Y'all got to stop. Y'all have to stop with the nonsense, bro. Just because your favorite player didn't get in, don't mean that it's rigged.
The All-Star Flameout sends a bigger...
Adding another layer to this exposed reality is the fact that Angel Reese didn't just passively hope for votes. She actively campaigned for them. She was online, urging her massive social media following to stuff the ballot boxes, practically pleading for their support. This wasn't a quiet nudge. It was a very public effort to convert her online clout into all-star credibility. And when the results came back showing her at 13th in overall fan voting, having actively campaigned for votes made the outcome even more revealing, maybe even humiliating. It highlighted that while she has a massive online presence and a dedicated core fan base, that influence didn't run deep enough to elevate her into an all-star spot, especially when coupled with her performance metrics. The campaign didn't galvanize support. It merely underlined the gap between her digital fame and her standing among the actual basketball decision-makers.
We have 3 different sports media figures that have released their all-star ballots, and Angel Reese is nowhere to be seen. She's not involved.
This probably means she will not be a starter in the All-Star game, which would make sense because Angel Reese shouldn't be a starter for a regular season game. The mainstream media has been trying to convince us that Angel Reese is a huge star. Some in the media even do investigative journalism and claim that Angel Reese is the face of the WNBA because she leads the league in followers on social media, along with missed layups and a complete lack of athleticism.
Perhaps one of the most telling signs of the shifting landscape is the reaction of the very media outlets that once championed Angel Reese. For months, they couldn't print her name enough, writing glowing pieces about her cultural impact and future potential. But in the aftermath of the All-Star vote, a noticeable silence has fallen. Many sports journalists who previously put her on a pedestal had no choice but to quietly leave her off their official All-Star ballots. Look at examples like Megan Hall from USA Today or the ballots released by Sports Illustrated, outlets that previously lauded her. Their published votes omitted her entirely. This isn't just a change of tune, it's the sound of a narrative collapsing. The story the media sold, that Angel Reese was already one of the league's absolute elite, ran headfirst into the cold, hard facts of the voting results and her on-court production. And the sudden pivot, the quiet omission, is the media's implicit admission that the hype train had run off the rails.
Claim to be fans of Paige, claim to be fans of Angel Reese. Every single one of them, instead of watching the player they claim to be fans of, which we know they're not really fans of those players because nobody watches those players. We can see it in the ratings numbers. They were all watching Caitlin Clark play just to hate watch. They would all rather watch Caitlin Clark than the players that they pretend to be fans of. And realistically, they're not even fans of those players. They just hate Caitlin Clark. They hate Caitlin Clark, and because of that, they are fans. They stand players that she's against to some sort of weird rival, not even weird rivalry.
Angel Reese's omission from the WNBA All-Star team is more than just a personal setback. It's a powerful lesson in the difference between building a brand and earning respect on the hardwood. It proved definitively that social media fame, viral moments, and even widespread media hype are no substitute for consistent production, statistical impact, and the earned recognition of peers and insiders. The league, the fans, the players, and even the media that once pushed the narrative have all spoken. The message is loud and clear. Performance matters most. The question now is, how does Angel Reese respond to this brutal reality check? Does she use it as fuel to elevate her game and prove the doubters wrong? Or does the gap between her image and her impact become too wide to bridge? The spotlight is still on her, but it's a very different kind of light now, one that demands substance over simply selling a story.
Now, we know the media jumped through hoops, gymnastics, mental gymnastics. I mean, however you try to put it, they tried to raise up Angel Reese last year as being, of course, she's running neck and neck with Caitlin Clark for the Rookie of the Year. Except that wasn't accurate at all. People are catching on, folks. People are catching on. Her fans can't defend the play anymore. And I guess members of the media are starting to give up.